Hello and welcome to episode 1 of the VO Journey. I am Jeremy. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't yet, I do strongly recommend checking out the intro video. Kind of goes over what the series is, what the purpose is, and what to expect moving forward. So it will kind of help frame everything we do from this point on. Very short version is I am just starting out, trying to get into the voiceover industry, and I'm going to kind of take you guys on the journey with me so you can see what it's like through my eyes. So, for episode 1, what I wanted to do was kind of tell you guys about the steps that I have taken to this point, just starting out, not actually trying to do any voiceover work yet, just to make sure that I am ready for it. So, the easiest thing to start talking about is gear. Gear is a very interesting subject. Most people, I think, are aware at this point that your average, let's say, Twitch streamer or YouTuber audio setup is not enough for professional quality voice work. It just isn't. I'm not going to try to get super technical in the details. A, I'm not an expert. And B, there's a lot of resources out there for you to understand these things. The long and the short of it is you don't want to use a USB mic. You want an XLR microphone, which is going to be the first thing that we talk about. There's a lot of microphones out there. Believe me, I've looked. And you'll see a lot of different recommendations out there. What I decided to do was this. I obviously have some amount of disposable income. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to purchase anything. I am not, however, super rich and can just throw thousands of dollars at something, just because. Not in the position to do that. If you are, and you can just get the nicest gear, the most expensive stuff, that is awesome. If that's what you want to do, more power to you. However, I think for a lot of us, probably be in the same boat as I am, you don't just have thousands and thousands of dollars to throw at it, especially just starting out. So I looked for an XLR microphone that has good reviews, both random, consumers, and also hopefully from one or two, say, websites or journalists who focus on these types of things. That is an XLR microphone. You don't want a cardioid pattern, but that doesn't, break the bank. And so I found one of those. Again, I'm not going in the video. I'm not going to go into the details of the gear because there's so many options out there. However, in case you are curious, I will put the links to each of the things that I did end up buying in the description of the video. No, they are not sponsored links. No, I do not gain anything by you deciding to purchase from them, in case you're wondering. It is literally just for informational purposes. And again, I am not telling you guys that what I bought is the absolute best thing that you can buy. So that's why I'm giving you a more general description so you can make the decision for yourself. I actually had someone recommend a particular mic to me. They're like, hey, I think this would be really, really good. A lot of pros use this, whatever. I look at it, and the mic, it was like $500, which is certainly not the most expensive mic out there, but more than I can currently justify spending on it. So point is, you need a good XLR microphone. It doesn't have to be top of the line. It doesn't have to be the absolute best. You need a good one. Why don't you need top of the line? We're going to get back to that in a moment. So next, as far as gear goes, along with the mic, I did opt for a pop filter. It is really just designed to minimize the impact of those sounds. Pop itself has it, your plosives, as they call your P, your B sound, those types of sounds. It softens them so that they don't literally pop into your microphone. Makes for a better listening experience. It is not absolutely necessary, and depending on your setup, it might not be necessary at all. For me, it's something I went with. They're cheap. I think it was like $10. So I went with it. Of course, on top of that, you do need a decent mic stand. To get the most quality out of your voice, you do physically want to be standing. I am not here telling you that I am an expert on this either, or that I am currently getting the most out of my voice. In fact, I am quite sure that I'm not. But that will be something that we'll hopefully see an evolution in as we go through this experience. However, general rule of thumb, standing, you're going to get a better quality of your voice than sitting for the most part. Mic stand, very, very helpful. Now, to go with your XLR mic, you do need an XLR cable, which then goes into your audio interface. The audio interface is then what plugs into your computer, translating that audio into a digital file that your computer can read. Again, you will get a much higher quality sound doing this compared to using a USB mic. Along with that, you do need a pair of studio headphones. The audio interface, at least the one that I have, does not take your regular, just like earbud jack. I needed the, I forget what it's called, I apologize, but I needed the specialized jack. I did get a pair of studio headphones. I think, if I remember too, by the time I get this up on YouTube, I'm going to link to a very helpful video that I watched regarding what you need out of headphones. That's important. So you get a good pair of studio headphones, because while I'm not doing it for the sake of this video, typically while you are doing voice work, you do want to be able to hear yourself, so you're kind of getting feedback on your own voice in real time, so you can make adjustments as you go. Typically, while you're in the booth, so to speak, you will be wearing headphones for a long period of time, so getting the right ones is important. Last piece of gear that I want to talk about is acoustic foam. You can't see it since I have the closet door behind me. Again, yes, in a closet, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But in front of me, in the direction that my voice is traveling, I did put up acoustic foam on the wall. Now, despite the misleading YouTube video titles that I saw while researching this, it is not, I repeat, it is not soundproofing. It is not preventing your voice from carrying anywhere. What it is doing is it is softening it within the space, getting rid of some of the reverb to create a better quality audio recording. It, again, is not soundproofing, but it is helpful for our purposes. Now, I'm finally going to get back to what I was talking about earlier. And in the intro video, I talked about the fact that, no, I don't have great video quality. The lighting isn't that good. I'm in my closet. Why am I in my closet? As much as we like to talk about the gear, and again, I was talking about the microphones earlier, and the differences that a good quality mic versus a poor quality mic can make, the reason why you don't need to go out and buy an incredibly expensive microphone just starting out, and in fact, you probably shouldn't, is as much as that can make a difference, the space that you're in makes a huge difference. I do not have a professional quality recording booth in my apartment, nor do I have the ability to make one. What I do have, however, is a walk-in closet, which actually provides a surprisingly high-quality recording space, absent the ability to really create a professional quality studio. The reason for that is it's an enclosed space, and you can control the audio fairly well in here. Why? Because my clothing will actually help absorb some of the sound. I do have that back wall, as I mentioned, that I was able to put the acoustic foam on, and everything in the closet, the clothing is great, but all the other junk I have in here too, which you fortunately cannot see, actually does help disperse the sound as well. In fact, on the podcast that I've been listening to, and that I will link in the description as well, VO's School Podcast, highly recommend for anyone looking to get that, the voice of the experienced. It is wonderful. Already forgot where I was going with that. But they do talk about the fact, I remembered now, that a lot of things that you have probably seen or heard on TV, commercials, that kind of thing, have been recorded in people's closets. And you never know. It is actually a great recording space, especially for the beginner. So that's what we're doing. So hopefully that answers that question. So that's what I have done to this point. What are we doing moving forward? So now we have some gear, we're ready to record, so we just jump in and start sending out auditions, right? Wrong. So very wrong. If I were to do that now, this would be a very short video series because my voiceover career would be over before it started. My goal, while I am very open to all sorts of different aspects of the voiceover industry, because there are a lot of ways you can get into that, as I mentioned, commercials, other types of voiceovers, audiobooks. What I am truly interested in, and don't get me wrong, I am very interested in those things as well, and I would like to work in those spaces. What I would really like to work towards is the ability to do more voice acting in things like animation and video games. Now, as I mentioned in the first video, just having a nice voice is only the beginning, and also at times not even required. However, what is required for voice acting is acting, the ability to act, and to act well. I currently don't have any formal acting training, so I'm working on changing that. Before I even worry about trying to really launch my voiceover career and try to get work, I am trying to make sure that I am prepared for that work. So I actually just started. I am recording this. I don't know exactly when it's going to go on YouTube. Probably it'll be a few days later, but I'm recording this on a Friday. This past Wednesday, I took the first class in an 8-week course for acting for beginners. It is all online, as are many things in this day and age, particularly in current circumstances. So it's very cool because it means that I get the chance to work with an instructor who's based in New York that I never would have had the chance to work with, as I am not in New York. I live in Florida. It is not nearly as much a hotspot for acting as somewhere like, say, New York or LA or those types of places. So having the ability to connect and work with an experienced instructor, regardless of location, is awesome. So I did take the first class. In fact, episode 2 will probably be talking about what occurred in that first class, and then probably the second one also. It'll be after that, I believe. So we'll be able to roll both of those together into one episode. But that is going to be a big part of it. If I want to be a voice actor, I have to be able to act. So that's what I'm working on. When that has completed, if I am comfortable with where I am at as far as acting goes, then I'll take my next step. If I am not, my next step is probably to take the next level of acting courses. I believe the school that I'm going through does have kind of the next step. So that might be what I do. Or if I feel, you know what, I really feel like I got a good grasp on the basics. I am not now suddenly a professional actor, but I do feel that I know enough that I can perform and that I can take direction well from a director and I can understand what it is they're asking of me, because that is extremely important. Then I will probably move on. The next step will be then professional voice lessons, specifically focusing on voiceover and voice acting. We'll be looking for a voice coach. So that will be the next focus from there. I mentioned this before. I'm going to mention it again. The VO School podcast is where I'm getting a lot of my information from. It's not the only source, but it is a fantastic source. It's run by a professional voice talent / audio engineer named Jamie Moffat. And he brings on in each episode experienced people within the industry through all sides of the industry, not just voice talent, but audio engineers, coaches, people with directing experience, all that kind of stuff. I will link that in the description below as well. Again, I don't get anything for it. I just think it's a great resource, and I do encourage you guys to check it out. So I kind of alluded to this before, but I want to close out by talking about what to expect from the next week's video. Again, I took the first class in my acting course. I will have taken the second class by the time I record episode 2, so that will probably largely focus on what I learned in those classes. Now, what I can't do is record those classes and then just show you guys what it is. Not allowed by the school's rules. Can't do it. What I can do is, while I am not a professional instructor, I'm not going to present myself as such, I can give you guys kind of an idea of what I'm learning, what I'm working on, and we can kind of go through that process together. It'll help me to get more practice, and hopefully it'll help you to get an idea of, while you're not going to get, it's not a replacement for the experience of taking those classes yourselves, it at least gives you an idea what to expect from them and kind of what an acting coach is looking for. So that will do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're looking forward to what's to come, because I know I am. As always, and again, I'm probably going to mention this at the end of every video, there's a reason why I chose the term journey in the title of this series of the VO journey. And it's because it is a journey, and it's a journey that never really ends. We don't have the destination that once we get there, we're done. It doesn't work that way. We're always looking to learn, always looking to grow. But again, the whole point of this is to try to help all of you watching, whether it be just that you learn something that you can use, or that it's really helping you make a decision of whether or not you want to pursue a career in the voiceover industry as well. So with that in mind, on every single video, use that comment section below. I strongly encourage any questions you might have that I might be able to answer for you as I go along, or any points of discussion that you'd like me to bring up in future videos. I am very, very open to that. Again, am I an expert in the industry? No, but that's the point. So while if you have extremely technical questions or questions that only an industry vet could answer, I'm probably not going to be your guy for that, at least not right now. Hopefully in the future, though. Anything that you would like me to talk about as I go along, I'm very, very open to that. So please feel free, use that comment section. That will do it for episode 1 of the VO journey. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. I do hope you'll come back next week for episode 2 as we go over more of what I'm learning in my acting classes, what I'm working on to try to be prepared for a new career in the voiceover field. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you guys soon.